Commandant Velkarin had presided over the final examination at Nexus Prime War College for 37 years. In all that time, he had never witnessed anything like what was happening in Examination Chamber 7. The trial of Ascension was legendary throughout the galaxy, a grueling individual test that separated true warriors from mere cadets. Each participant faced the simulation alone, a hostile environment filled with adaptive enemies, limited resources, and scenarios designed to push even the most elite soldiers beyond their breaking points. The 90% mortality rate wasn't accidental. It was the point. "Sir," Monitoring Officer Keth Nara called out nervously, "the human exchange student has modified the simulation parameters." Commandant Velkarin's mandibles clicked in confusion. "Impossible. The examination chamber systems are hardwired. No external modifications are permitted." "That's what we thought, sir." But somehow, Cadet Sarah Chin has managed to establish communication channels with the other 47 participants. Through the observation deck's viewing portal, Velkarin watched in growing bewilderment as something unprecedented unfolded in the simulation. Instead of 48 individual survival scenarios, the chamber now hosted what appeared to be a coordinated military operation. "How did she establish communications?" Velkarin demanded. "The examination specifically isolates each participant to test individual capability. She's using the simulation's own feedback systems," Keth Nara replied, consulting her readings with disbelief. "The human figured out how to modulate her bioelectric signature to create interference patterns in the monitoring grid. Other participants are picking up the signals and responding." On screen, Cadet Chin was somehow orchestrating a complex tactical formation involving species that had never worked together, using hand signals, improvised relay systems, and what appeared to be engineering solutions that violated several laws of physics. "This defeats the entire purpose of the examination," Velkarin sputtered. "The trial of Ascension tests individual strength, cunning, and survival instinct." "Sir," Keth Nara's voice grew quieter, "perhaps you should see what they're accomplishing." The simulation's original parameters called for each cadet to survive 72 hours in a hostile environment while being hunted by adaptive AI constructs. Most participants died within the first 6 hours. The lucky ones lasted 12 hours before being eliminated. Under Chen's coordination, the 48 cadets had not only survived the first 18 hours, they had eliminated 60% of the hostile constructs and established a fortified base camp with supply lines. "How is this possible?" Velkarin whispered. "The human appears to have recognized that the simulation's AI constructs are designed to hunt individual targets," Keth Nara explained. "By creating coordinated group movements, she's exploiting gaps in their tactical programming." But that wasn't all. Chin had somehow convinced a Korthak warrior, a species known for solitary combat preferences, to work alongside a Zephyrian scout, whose people considered the Korthak to be natural enemies. She had crystalline engineers building defensive structures, while void dancers provided reconnaissance. "She's turned a survival test into a military exercise," Velkarin realized with growing alarm. "More than that, sir. She's created an integrated multi-species tactical unit. The coordination levels they're achieving shouldn't be possible with species that have never trained together." Through the viewing portal, Velkarin watched Chin explain something to a group of cadets, using improvised diagrams drawn in the dirt. Whatever she was saying, it was causing participants from 12 different species to nod in understanding and immediately implement complex tactical maneuvers. "What is she teaching them?" he asked. Keth Nara activated the audio feeds. Chin's voice came through clearly, addressing the group with the casual confidence of someone explaining basic concepts to children. "So the key thing to remember is that these AI hunters are programmed to exploit individual weaknesses, but they can't adapt to collective strengths. We're going to use overlapping fields of fire, rotating sentry duty, and shared resource management. Basically, we're going to outthink the system. Outthink the system? Velkaren repeated hollowly. On my world, we call this teamwork, Chen continued. It's not about being the strongest individual, it's about making everyone around you stronger. The humans have a saying, together we stand, divided we fall. By hour 36, something unprecedented was occurring. Not only had 0 cadets died, but they had actually begun hunting the AI constructs that were supposed to be hunting them. Sir, Kethnara reported, the simulation's adaptive protocols are failing. The AI constructs weren't designed to face coordinated multi-species tactics. They're being systematically eliminated. Shut it down, Velkaren ordered. This has gone far enough. I can't, sir. The human has somehow convinced the other participants to maintain the simulation until the full 72 hours are complete. They want to prove they can achieve total victory, not just survival. As Velkaren watched 48 cadets from different species work together with unprecedented efficiency, he realized that humanity had just fundamentally challenged the basic assumptions underlying military education. Sir, Kethnara said softly, what do we do about the examination results? Technically, they've all passed with perfect scores. Velkaren considered this. The trial of ascension was supposed to identify the exceptional individuals who could lead their species' military forces. Instead, humanity had demonstrated that the entire concept of individual military prowess was obsolete. Recommendations? He asked. We could declare the examination invalid due to protocol violations, Kethnara suggested. Or, we could acknowledge that the human has just taught us something revolutionary about military effectiveness. As the 72 hours concluded and 48 cadets emerged from the chamber, all alive, all successful, all fundamentally changed by the experience, Velkaren made his decision. New examination protocols, effective immediately, he announced. The trial of ascension will now test collective tactical capability rather than individual survival. Sir, what should we call the new examination? Velkaren watched Chen being congratulated by cadets from species that had been historic enemies, all of them planning to maintain their coordination after graduation. The human protocol, he said finally. And may the galaxy help us all when these cadets become generals.